Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another Splatoon 3 video. We got the mid-season Sizzle Season 4.1.0 patch, mid-season balance / update patch with a major bug fixes and a bunch of balance changes for all the weapons. Some really interesting stuff. I did not actually go through this like off screen or anything. Like, this is gonna be all the first time to actually like seeing all this for the first time live with you guys during the video, but heard there's some crazy shit in this, so see how it goes. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that makes no sense or is really confusing again as well, because it won't be a balanced patch without that. But if you guys like these videos, there's not going to be really too much in the background probably for this one. Probably it might just end up throwing this video up for you guys, just record and throw it up, because if I try to edit any video I was going to stream a little bit ago, in like an hour or two ago, and stream some Apex Legends over on Twitch. If you guys are not following me, link in the description. But like, it is just so hot where my PC is right now, and we have like a 105-degree day, and I have no AC, so I do not want my computer to overheat. So I'm gonna have to see what happens here. If I can try, I'm gonna maybe try to throw some gameplay in the background or something. But if I just throw this video up, it's mainly because it's way too hot out, and I don't want to stress my PC. So starting out, leave a like, subscribe, share the video. Really appreciate it. Let's get right into this. Aerospray RG and MG, reduced amount of ink consumed by 9%, so it gets a 9% ink efficiency buff. This is great for the weapons, like it's a great small buff for these weapons, but the problem is that their damage is so bad. If this was a 9% damage boost and increased the damage, it would actually matter, but considering they're already really good ink efficiency weapons, and they just probably two of the best painting weapons in the entire game, and their kits really ain't that good. Booyah Bomb's okay on one of them, but like the other one's garbage. So I don't know, like apart from that, it's pretty bad. I just wish there was like a 9% damage buff. Splatter Shot, T-Tech, and Hero Shot, which are pretty much the same thing, reduce the scatter of shots while on land by approximately 17%. This also includes mid-air shot scatter reduction. From intensify action, the mid-air ink scatter will now be closer to the effect while shooting on land. So here's Nintendo's logic. You got the Splatter Shot and the T-Tech Splatter Shot, two of the most beginner and like easiest to play, like brain dead, simple weapons in the entire game to play, that really don't take any skill to play at all. And if you really want to play something, you can always just pick these two weapons no matter what, and you'll always do good with them. And they're going to go and buff the weapon for no reason. Nintendo logic, because that makes a lot of sense. Did these weapons need this buff? No, they did not. Useless buff that they should not have gotten. NZAP 85 and 89. Same buff. For these weapons, they actually do need it. I do not mind these weapons having it, because you don't see them play it as much as the other two, or the other three, I guess. Luna, or the Splatter Shot Pro and the Forge Splatter Shot Pro, increase the radius of the ink splatter at the point of impact by approximately 8%. So if you guys know what this means, pretty much wherever you're shooting, it'll paint 8% better at like the middle of your screen, like wherever you're shooting, when the droplets land onto the ground. I don't know, I mean, it'll be good for the Forge Splatter Shot, like the Splatter Shot Pro, but like the main problem with these weapons, and I say it every single time there is a new patch or a new season, they gotta change the ink efficiency on these weapons to make them more ink efficient. And until they do that, they will never be like really high played weapons. They'll just be like niche or played only like every once in a while, or for the people that really like to play the weapons. You'll never see these things played apart from that, which is the main thing that's holding them back. Making them paint a little bit better, it'll help them farm ult, but like they're still like some of the most like ink hungry weapons in the entire game, and they really are. Luna Blaster and Luna Blaster Neo, reduce the scatter of shots midair by approximately 25%. Effect gain, I'm not sure what that actually means. Does that mean there's a 25% less spread if you're trying to jump with them in air? I'm not 100% sure. Is that like a 25% smaller blast radius? I'm not sure if that's a buff or if that's a nerf. I wish they would clarify. I'm assuming it's a buff, because it's similar to the other ones. I'm assuming it's some type of buff, but just for a blaster. Dynamo Roller, probably one of the worst weapons, if not the worst weapon in the entire game. Reduce the amount of time it takes for ink to begin recovering after a horizontal or vertical swing by 1/6 of a second. Yeah, you tried. I'll give Nintendo a solid B+ for effort, but because they tried. But this still is probably going to be probably the worst weapon in the entire game. That does nothing. The problem with the dynamo roller, is its ink efficiency is just fucking garbage, and the problem is its damage. With how long it takes to swing, its vertical flick, the damage on the end to the middle of the end, is not a guaranteed one-shot, and the damage has way too much fall off. And it's just way too slow as well. Like, it is just way too slow and clunky of a weapon. I think maybe if it would have got a different kit as well, it would really help, but even then, I think it's still going to be awful. Here's something I'm actually looking forward to. I think this is actually probably the best change out of the entire, like, mid-season update, if I'm being 100% real with you guys. Reduce the amount of ink consumed when swinging the brush by 25%. That is absolutely crazy of a buff. Reduce the amount of ink consumed when holding ZR to paint, so when you're running with the paintbrush, by 25%. So overall, when you're running and when you're actually swinging the paintbrush, you get a 25% ink efficiency change, and you'll save yourself 25% ink efficiency. So you'll be able to do a lot more before running out of ink, pretty much. This is the buff the Splattershot Pro and the Dynamo Roller should have. This is the type of buff that they should give those weapons. If you guys aren't playing the Paintbrush, I think the Paintbrush out of both of the new weapons we got for Sizzle Season was probably my favorite of the two new weapons, which I kind of thought would be the Blaster, but the Blaster's really boring, and I don't really care for its kit. So I think the Paintbrush, if you guys aren't playing it right now, I guess even after these changes, when they go live tomorrow, which is supposed to be going live on the 26th or 27th, I think it's 26th tomorrow. When you guys are seeing this, at least for me, it's not the 26th yet, but it depends on where you are and whatever, like your time zones and everything. But if you guys aren't playing the Paintbrush, play it. It's going to be really, really good. I think you're going to see this thing a lot more, and I think it's already really good with how much damage and how consistent it is. And it has a really, really good kit, so now you can actually run like a bit of different like gear abilities and that type of thing with it. You don't have to run as much like Ink Saver. What else do we have? GooTuber adjusted display indicating the charge amount to make it tell when it exceeded 100 damage dealt. Okay, I don't know how that's supposed to... I mean, I guess it's maybe supposed to look different in game. We'll have to see how that looks. Nobody's fucking playing the GooTuber. This weapon is a fucking meme. Nobody's playing it anyway, so who the fuck cares? Well, Blobber increased the radius of ink splatter at the point of impact from ink spray by approximately 10%, so it paints 10% better. Whoop-de-doo. Still, you're never going to really see it played, which sucks because it's a really cool weapon. Tri-Stringer increased the damage dealt to opponents by explosions of shots lodged in terrain from 28 to 30 damage. Increased the movement speed while charging and while fully charged by approximately 13%. So these are actually some really solid buffs. It's probably like the second best changes out of the entire patch, or at least for the mid-season patch, at least weapon-wise. Really solid changes. I think this actually makes it become like a 3-hit KO or something, so you have to land 2 directs plus an explosion to actually kill somebody instead of a 4-hit KO. I think that's what those numbers change it to. Don't quote me on that because it's been a while since I played the Tri-Stringer. I'm not sure the exact numbers, but I think that's what it would change it to. Same with the movement speed, that's huge. I mean, the Tri-Stringer is always it's been really good in any way. It's like, I think it's one of the most slept on, like, underrated, underplayed weapons in the entire game ever since it was brought into the game at the launch of Splatoon 3, like a year ago almost already. I don't know why nobody plays it. It's still a really good weapon. It's getting buffed, so it'll even be even better. I think the reason why is just because everybody's playing the heavy Splatlings, and the E-leaders are just so fucking nasty on all the maps with how they're designed. Sub changes. Angle Shooter, while they increase the damage of Angle Shooter to 40. Whoop-de-doo, again, another B+ rating because you tried but you failed miserably. That is not what Angle Shooter needed. It is not. The 5 extra damage is nice, but that's not what it needed. I don't even know if that actually helps anything combo-wise. Like, if you guys know what this would actually combo with, Like, I know it's on a couple weapons like the Big Swig and like the Splatter Shot and that type of thing. If you guys know what this actually help combo-wise, let me know in the comments down below. But at least from, I think, going for 35 to 40, I don't think it really does anything. I think you need a buff up to 45 for it to actually matter combo-wise with most things. At least the stuff that actually has angle shooter. Sprinkler extended the duration of the state where the ink is strongest immediately after placement by 3 seconds. So it paints better when it's first placed for 3 seconds. There you go. Is this a buff that'll make Sprinkler way better? I don't know. Maybe you'll get an extra 10 points for like the first few seconds after throwing it down. But they're so easy to destroy anyways. Like everybody, if you see it throw it down in front of somebody, it gets destroyed immediately anyways. So I don't know. I think it's mainly this is mainly a turf war buff because it'll be better in turf war, I guess. Anything else, I don't think that sprinkler change even matters. Now we got the specials. This is the stuff that actually really matters. Let's see if this actually is anything good. Trizuka increased the damage dealt by explosions from 40 to 60. Again, let me know in the comments down below, do these damage number changes actually matter? I mean, I guess from now, I guess if we were just getting hit with explosions, before it would only be 80 damage, and it would be a 3-hit KO. So now it changes that to a 2-hit KO, even if you're not directly hit by a Trizuka, I guess. I don't know. Even then again, like Trizuka, it's pretty easy to avoid. So I don't know. If you're getting dying to Trizuka explosion damage, like you're pretty bad at the game. Ink Vac. Here's the special, probably the worst special in the entire game. Let's see what they do to buff this, y'all. Let's see. Drum roll. Drum roll. Increase the radius of the ink shot explosion by approximately 50% when the amount of opponent's ink was sucked up is at the minimum. Increase the radius by 25% when the amount of opponent's ink that was sucked up is at its maximum. So pretty much what this is saying is, if your ink vac ends early and you don't get to max ink, and you don't get a full like gauge of whether it's fully maxed out, you'll get a 50% bigger explosion radius. And then if it's fully maxed out by actually like filling the entire gauge and having the ult pretty much stop and being able to shoot out the projectile, then you only get a 25% increase to whatever it is. Do these changes do anything for ink vac? No, they don't. The problem with ink vac is the duration is really fucking stupid. It is way too long of a duration, and it takes way too long to switch between throwing out a projectile and actually being able to move while you're trying to get ink into your siphon. Because you get shot into the back way too much. It is way too easy to shoot around you and kill you, especially when you're so vulnerable. And plus, you're not using your main weapon, so I can see if they change this to maybe if you were like also like the siphon, like wherever the siphon is looking, it would ink the ground below that. I think that would be a really cool buff. I don't know, let me know what you guys think about that in the comments down below. Like wherever you're aiming your siphon when you're trying to suck up anybody's ink, like wherever that would be pointing, like it would paint the ground below that, so you're still painting it when you're using your special. Because the problem right now is you're just so vulnerable because you have to put away your main weapon and you just get dove by everybody. And they either fill your siphon way too fast and they just kill you before you're able to do anything, or you just get shot in the back by everybody and it's because your strafe speed is so low and you can't turn around fast enough. I don't know. Again, another balance change that it just boggles your mind and where the fuck they actually come up with this shit and why would this actually even be put into the game and what does this actually help? I don't know. I don't see that doing anything for ink vac, and it still will be probably the worst special in the entire game. Super Chump. Increase the amount of damage dealt to players when caught in an explosion from 60 to 70. And increase the radius of that area by approximately 38%. Increase the radius of the decoy explosion area that deals 35 damage by approximately 20%. So they gave bigger AoE to the Super Chumps, and they increased the damage by 10. Whoop-de-doo. Now what they should actually add here is they should make it so it's more difficult to destroy, because they're still way too easy to destroy. By the time you land them on the ground with how slow it takes for them to deploy, and how long it takes for them to detonate, everybody, especially if you're even just one person, you can pretty much wipe out an entire like Super Chump just by shooting for like 1 or 2 seconds. like an entire field of them with how easy they are to destroy. And even then, just the ones around you, like the ones that actually matter, so they get no value anyways. I think that's the main change they actually need to do to Super Jump. Make them so they're actually more difficult to destroy and more of like an AoE type special than buffing the fucking damage and the explosion radius and the paint or whatever else they tried to do in the past. I think that's what they should do with it, but I don't know, they're Nintendo. I'm going to let Nintendo balance the game because they think they're so good at balancing the game. Or the pro players. The pro players will probably eat that one up. They probably like that change. I don't know about you guys, but I play X rank, and even in X rank, nobody's running Super Jump, so who the fuck cares? Inkjet decreased the radius of the explosion that deals 50 damage by 15%. Oh no! They took away the buff that they gave us for the start of Sizzle Season, which I think was the exact same thing, so they reverted one of the buffs they gave. That's all this is. So Inkjet still has the mobility buffs that it got, that like with the strafe speed and all that other shit they gave it, but now you're gonna get taken away the 15% increased AoE for like your 50 damage if you just like shoot your shoot somebody like beside them and not a direct, and it does has a less chance of doing 50 damage, I guess. So I don't know. I mean, I don't really care either. Like Inkjet's still gonna be really good. I don't think this will change the special at all. See what we got for changes. We finally got a nerf to the ballpoint Splatling points. That's great. Mini Splatling got a nerf. Why? Tri-Slosher got a nerf. Why? People are first now playing the Tri-Slosher with the Tacticooler. They're first now playing it, and it hasn't seen any play through almost a year until this last patch hit for Sizzle Season. People are finally starting to play it, and now they got to nerf the special again. To nerf the special points. Why? Why? It's not even that good. It's still not even that good. It's more of a niche playstyle. Why? Rapid Blaster Pro Deco got a nerf. Why would you nerf that? Why? I think 180 was perfect for this weapon. 190 is way too much for Killer Whale. Don't get me wrong, like it's still going to be a solid weapon, but having to do that, you have to run more special power up, I guess, or like special charge up. Carbon Roller got a nerf, or got a buff. Still going to be garbage. Who's playing that? And then the Clash Blaster Neo, which is arguably the top 5 worst weapons in the entire game still, got a 10 painting buff for special points. What I'm wondering here is, like, where is the stuff with, like a lot of the other weapons that just don't have anything? Like, where is the Bamboozler? Where is the Gluga Dualies? Like, where is everything else? The Dapple Dualies, like some of the Dualies that are really left out right now. There's a lot of Dualies that could use buffs. The Brellas, where are all the Brellas? Not a single change to any of the Brellas in this entire mid-season patch. Those of you guys that play Brellas, and you guys are Brella mains, because I know there are some that watch my videos. If I were you guys, I would have given up a long time ago. I think they forgot that Brellas actually exist in their game. I think that's the real problem. Some other changes to the lobby, some bug fixes, bunch of bug fixes. I don't see anything here with multiplayer either. I don't see nothing here with nothing with Salmon Run either. I mean, not multiplayer. I meant Salmon Run. Nothing with Salmon Run. That's really weird. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Overall, I think there's like 2 or 3 really good balance changes in this. But apart from that, a lot of the balance changes are either just like head scratcher, like balance changes that either don't do anything to like actually do anything, or just completely like random shit that is either being buffed or nerfed that doesn't do anything to make anything worse or like make it better, or like that type of thing, which is kind of, I mean, I guess that's every single patch. There's always shit like that. It's Nintendo balancing the game. I don't know about you guys too, but I look at the game from more of like your casual to like above casual type player like standpoint for like the majority of the player balance. I don't give a shit about high tier X rank. I don't give a shit about tournaments. I don't give a shit about like your pro tier lobbies, like the people that are going across to like cross seas and like to New York and all those places that are like at the tournaments and trying to play on LAN. Like I don't give a shit about like the top tier player balance. Like I don't give a shit about that. I want the game balanced for the majority of the players. And I'm sure a lot of the pro players will eat up a lot of this balance because they always do. You'll probably have Chara or like some of the other ones, Sendao, or there's a few other pro players that make videos and content too that'll eat the shit up. But and I'm telling you guys, at least in my opinion, like it's 100% opinion. At least in my opinion, there's only like 2 or 3 balance changes here that are actually good. The rest are all like confusing as fuck and don't do anything, or just flat out like not even necessary. I don't know. And there's a bunch of stuff here that's just not even missing. It's just not even here and just completely missing. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Leave a like, subscribe, share the video. If you guys missed it as well, I threw up some Scarlet and Violet Wi-Fi battles over the past few days. If you guys missed that, and you guys want to check those out, if that interests you guys, feel free to go check those out live on the channel right now. Got a bunch more stuff on the way. I plan on streaming Apex here when it's not 100 degrees. And my computer hopefully won't overheat in the next couple days. Some Neon Network event. We got a new Apex season in 2 weeks. Bunch of new stuff on the way as well. So if you guys not want to miss that, subscribe. Really appreciate it. I'm going to get out of here. Peace out, everybody. Thanks for watching.